Hey everyone, Codex here. Today what we're gonna do is take a look at Solana and its current trend, given that its price is currently down about 64% from its all-time high. We also have a decent comparison between the current trend for Solana and Ethereum's trend back in the 2017-2018 rally, which will help us understand where we could be heading in the next couple of weeks. So if that's something you're interested in and you find these videos helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video and click on that bell icon so you get notified when I upload a new video. Also make sure to join our Telegram channel where you can get some of my models and indicators for free, and let's get into this one. So kicking this off with our chart on the daily time frame, the first thing to note is that Solana has lost its main volume node, which is right here above 135 US dollars. This is, by the way, the VPVR indicator, which shows us the high volume nodes as well as the low volume nodes. And typically, whenever we get a correction or a pullback, our goal is to at least hold and stay in the high volume node, because if you fall from a high volume node, your next support level will be the next high volume node, which usually tends to be far away. The high volume nodes indicate a high level of interest between investors, and this is where you usually find a lot of investors willing to buy the coin at that price, which ends up building a kind of support. Now, after the recent fallout, Solana has managed to hold in this node, which isn't massive, but it's decent to say the least. We have got some volume right here, which will help us build a basis to bounce back up. However, if the price ends up falling, then our next support level will be, as we said, the next high volume node, which is currently this one coming in at about 75 bucks. So basically another 20 to 23% down from our current price. Now, if we pull up the KDG on the weekly time frame, and this is, by the way, a momentum indicator, so we can see that we still have a dominant downward pressure. The black line is still moving down or kind of sideways as of late, but it's below the level of 20, and that's a bearish sign. The second thing with this indicator is that we don't have a cross between our blue and orange line for the time being. And typically, if you want to rally, we need the black line to move to the upside above the level of 20, and we also need the blue line to go above the orange line and start an upside race against it, which isn't the case for now. So macro scale, things still look bearish for Solana, and the same applies to the 11 days chart, by the way. Look, the black line is super low, and we don't have a cross yet between the blue and orange line, which is a bearish signal, as we said. And the last time we got that, we got our cross and the black line ended up heading to the downside. It was back in July, and the price ended up going more than 85% up. We had a similar pattern back at the end of last year, right here, as you can see, and Solana skyrocketed where it went from 1.5 US dollars all the way up to roughly 63 bucks. So clearly we don't have that for the time being. We don't have the signals for the time being, but we should keep an eye on the KDG, on our indicator, in the upcoming weeks, as things might change. Now, what I want to discuss is the Ethereum chart back in our famous 2017-2018 rally in order to compare it to Solana's current chart. So on the left side, we have got Ether to USD, and on the right side, we have got Solana to USD. And back in 2016, Ethereum went from 75 cents to $20, which was impressive to say the least, before having its first retracement. Solana also experienced the same thing last year. A decent rally was made before a significant pullback. I really want you to focus on the charts and compare them, and you will understand why later on. Going back to Ethereum's chart, after this first move, we had another rally of 7,000% before having some kind of capitulation. I mean, this wasn't really a capitulation phase, but it was a phase in which the price was retesting some key levels since it went up super fast in a short period of time. And at the end, we had our last leg up to reach our all-time high of roughly 1,500 bucks back in 2018, back at the start of 2018. This was in January, actually. And the same applies to Solana, actually. A magnificent rally happened, and afterwards the price experienced a 67% pullback, which didn't last for long, actually. I mean, this was a brief downtrend before going back on track to reach our all-time high right here. And by now, you can clearly see that there are a lot of similarities between Ethereum and Solana's chart. Now, after every bull run, a bear market in which the prices end up falling significantly from our all-time high takes place, and for Ethereum, a drop of 94% is what ended up happening. Now, 94% is massive. I mean, imagine having 100k, for example, in Ethereum, and a year later you end up with barely 5,000 US dollars. That hurts. I know, macro scale, you will be still up, if you hold, of course, but most people don't hold throughout these phases, and that's why we tend to experience massive drops, actually. Now, I don't think Solana will experience a 94 or 95% drop today or tomorrow. It's possible, but it's very unlikely. But clearly, both charts look identical, and before going all the way down to 80 bucks with Ethereum right here, we had a relief phase, which lasted for a month, where the price ended up going a bit up. So given what we have seen throughout our indicators, I do believe that we are still in a bearish trend with Solana on the macro scale. However, this doesn't imply that we can't see a relief phase like the one Ethereum had. I do in fact expect some kind of relief for Solana, where we might go a bit up or at least sideways for a couple of weeks before trending down once again. And if that ends up happening, I'm going to be focusing on the 200 days EMA. As you can see, the 200 days EMA is right here color-coded by yellow, as it's a very important level. That was about it, guys, for Solana today. Thanks for sticking by till the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave the video a thumbs up, as it helps us a lot. Leave a comment, just say anything. It's super important for the algorithm. Thanks for sticking by, as I said, and have a nice day.